Hello and welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Cathryn Eicher.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. What's up?
Oh my God. And this is episode 116, baby.
116. Hey, sorry for that goblin voice, but make sure to follow us on all of our socials at the Pickup WNBA podcast, Twitter, Insta, soon to be Blue Sky, YouTube. And thank you in advance to the folks that haven't filled out our survey yet with ACAST and the Sonar Network that are going to. And thank you to the people who have filled out that survey. This is for us to get to know our audience. This is for, to make sure we have the advertising that, appeals to our listeners. And it's been really good so far. So thank you. And we're gonna keep sharing it and keep getting feedback. So cheers.
Yes, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. Link to the survey will be in the description of both the YouTube video and the podcast, so check that out. Also, just want to thank ACAST because they've been showing an interest in our show and are helping us out a lot, and they've been really great to work with. So thank you, ACAST.
Yeah, shout out ACAST, and it's exciting. People see the vision. People see. I think people are excited about the W, which is sort of what we are, what this pod is, right? So
yeah. And I got a new ring light, but my issue was the actual like ring light that's shaped like a circle. Yes. You would see it reflected in my glasses, and then you would just see these like rings. Where now I have this like flat light. Like if I do this, you can see it's like a square.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like this round circle thing like right in front of me. I was able to like move it just to the side and stuff like that. So I have a light that's like, you maybe kind of see it here and there, but it's not like in my face the whole time. So I found a decent lighting solution here.
If you are not watching on YouTube, you're probably like, what the
no, come on. People know what a ring light is.
Yeah, but like picturing the square on your glasses, like it's sort of like Cathryn's looking into the eclipse. That's kind of what it looks like.
Wow, thank you. If only I could do this with eclipse glasses the whole time. That was almost a year ago, the eclipse.
Eclipse glasses, our new sponsor.
I don't know who's buying them this year. Is there an eclipse this year?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. We're not confident in this area.
Yeah, and I was gonna make a joke, but I'm like, what's even like? I guess there's an eclipse every year somewhere.
I thought about how we always say soon to be blue sky, and it reminds me of that really old Jimmy Kimmel bit where he's like, "Sorry, Matt Damon, we've run out of time."
Yeah,
and he would just say that for like years and years and years. Imagine that's like the blue sky.
We gotta watch some more docs.
It's too. It's probably too important for us to be on blue sky, considering everything that the other website has turned into.
Yeah, we need it.
But anyways, really exciting news happened this week, and that is Serena Williams has become a part owner of the Toronto Tempo. So Serena Williams officially a part of the WNBA. Yay!
Yeah, just absolutely.
Clap. You're not joining my
okay.
Well, you're supposed to add to my sound effect here. We do practical effects here at the Pickup.
Jets. Yes. Yeah, I just did a West Side Story bit. It was good.
I would call it a reference.
A reference, yeah, barely a bit. Serena Williams, the greatest athlete ever in a lot of people's eyes. Teresa Resch is, just like basically plugs Serena as our owner. It's just like absolutely, I say our owner, but the owner of the Toronto Tempo.
She owns us too.
She owns us. Come on, let's be real. This is so gigantic, right? Because I think there's a lot of major celebrities that have come into ownership. I gotta say she's the coolest.
Probably.
right? Like who's even in the running to be as cool as her? Like, you know what I mean? I
Yes.
don't really know.
I mean, I don't consider Tom Brady to be cool.
Yeah, he's
Like, he
rich.
he was a great athlete in his day. I don't think he's, like, cool, though.
Mhm.
Maybe in the eyes of some.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know, was he ever considered cool?
I don't know, even hardcore Tom Brady fans, I think they think of him as the greatest football player of all time, but
Right.
I've never really heard someone say that he's cool.
Mhm, mhm. He doesn't have that kind of vibe.
No.
Um,
Serena does, though.
Absolutely. And it's exciting too because there's a couple things here. One, it's Toronto and we're in Toronto. So obviously, how do we get her on the podcast? Right? Like that needs to be the goal. And
100%. That's
and
like
for
our new
all
mission.
yeah, and for all our listeners, like give us your ideas, give us your suggestions. What should we do to get Serena on the podcast? How do we get her to know we exist, we're alive, we love her, we would have the best time chatting with her. We got to make this happen. I agree. We got this needs to be our new goal. Like it's like Serena Williams watch. Not
Yeah.
we're not stalking her, but you know what I mean. Like on this podcast, like how do we get her on the show? How would you get her on the show, Freddie? Here,
Whew.
look at me throwing in a Freddie fun question in the middle of our
How
topic.
would I get Serena on the show? That's a really
Yeah,
good question. Um, I would say,
let her know that
uh,
you're a clown.
let her know, yeah, first things first, let her know I'm a clown. I think that might get me, um, if not thrown out of the building, that would definitely put me in a place to, like, at
And
least
then
trip
you're
on the
like, I'm a clown for sick kids.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then
I
as you're getting thrown out the building.
Yeah, I think it would be like they would throw me out of the building, but I would like it would be one of those things where like they would throw me out of one room and I would come flying in another room. Like I'm
Like
defying physics.
across the hall, like
Yeah, like it's like a full magic trick where they're like, "Get out of here, you!" And like I get DJ Jazzy Jeff out of one room and then
oh
like
my
fly in
god.
the other room, and they're like, "This guy's crazy." Um,
And then Trudeau's in the other room.
Trudeau's in the other
And
room.
you're like, remember me?
Yeah. Well, okay, I don't know if this would get her on the pod, but, my partner, we both do a lot of, like, take turns, like, lying with our baby to make sure he sleeps well and sort of, like, set him off to nice dreamland. That's where, she's upstairs right now making sure he's sleeping, and he had a nap the other day and, she like, he was sleeping and she came down with the monitor and she's like, "I gotta tell you something. I made an impulse buy." And I was like, "Oh," like, not really that's not something she says. Like, she enjoys shopping, but it's not something she says often, so I was like, "Oh, okay, like, is this, like" in my head, I'm like, "Is this bad?" Like, I'm ready to be like I'm not sure where
Yeah,
it's going.
you're bracing yourself. Yeah.
I'm bracing myself. And she goes, "Serena Williams." And I go, "Yeah? Yeah, you heard about her, and the tempo?" And she's like, "Yeah. It's amazing." And I'm like, "I know. It's great." And she goes, "I bought Remy a Serena Williams baby tempo t-shirt."
Aw.
And I'm like, "That's amazing." And she's like, "And I bought one for me and
But
you."
not for you. Oh,
Yeah.
and
No,
you.
so we have a family Serena Williams
Aw,
tempo, like,
that's
swag. Yeah,
amazing.
so I'm like, we gotta get a nice picture of that, and I think
Yeah, you
that
have
could be
to.
but
Oh, that's good.
But is that, like, fanning out too hard? Like, is that you know what I mean? I never know with a celebrity because is that, like, a
Yeah, it
show of
could be.
respect? Or is she like, "Oh," like, I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, it's sometimes
You would attach it to an email of a very nicely crafted letter, or it would be an image within a proposal
yeah, just can't
that
be
you
creepy is all I'm
you know
saying.
what I mean? Like a pitch deck.
Yeah, pitch deck.
Then and it's an image that's included within a bunch of other professional things about you.
Mhm. Yeah, I am a clown. Here's a picture of my family. I don't know, Catherine. You might have to make you might have to make the approach here because I'm freaking myself out.
I mean, I think it's just like uh, maybe we start off like we try to get the new GM on our pod, right? Then we try to get the other the president, Teresa, right? And then we get the other part owner, Larry. It's like you
Larry
infiltrate.
Tenenbaum. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be.
yeah. Yeah, right? Like you infiltrate,
This is good. This is good.
right? So it's like,
This
well,
is
we've
how the
had
sausage is
everyone
made,
else on the
folks.
team and we'd love to have you.
Here you go.
And we're the premier WNBA podcast in Canada.
Bada boom, bada bing. Done and done.
Mhm.
Okay, then
That's what I think we could do.
this
But
is our.
listeners, Freddie's gone on a tangent as we do. As we do.
Yeah,
But
it could be
please, if
tangent.
you have suggestions, whether they are funny and humorous or serious, please send them to us. I definitely want to know what you all think. What could we do to get Serena Williams on the podcast?
Yeah, this is our vision board, like our audio vision board.
Hmm.
I
And
also want to
we could
say,
do a studio. We could do an in-person studio when she's in town. That's also an option.
yeah,
Just saying, just putting these things out
Serena,
there.
we'll work around your schedule, no biggie. Um, I also want to say that in reading about this, I feel like you're the first person who told me this, Catherine, but um, she is already like deep into sports. She's a part owner of the Miami Dolphins. She's a part owner of the Angel City Football Club, and she also is a part owner of a virtual golf league. So she's really like fully has her like hands in a lot of like sports stuff. So she's definitely. I mean, she's obviously business savvy, but I mean, like she's clearly business sports savvy. Like she's not
Yeah,
messing around here.
she could become a billionaire in her lifetime
Hope she does.
with all these key you know, slash good investments that she's making. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, too, because the other thing too I'll mention is like, this is I don't know if this is just Toronto people or Drake people mentioning that they dated a long time ago, but that, oh, is this like a thing she's doing to get back at Drake? And I'm like, stop being so brand new. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like Serena Williams has a life. She's got two kids. She's got a husband that she seems very in love with. And like you just mentioned, this is not the first team she's ever invested in. I just thought that take was so stupid. Because I know, like, we saw the Super Bowl thing, and she's dancing with Kendrick and all of that, but it's like she's also from Compton. Like, not everything is about Drake.
I think definitely
The crip walking. That's what she.
there's a tendency for people to try and relate. Well, to the Drake point, I feel like with Kendrick like annihilating him so hard and having so much depth in his like artistry, people just assume everything now is like this like layered big brain slight to Drake. And a lot of it is. But yeah, like
Well,
to
that song obviously is, but
yeah, but to your point about like Serena, like she's just yeah, she's a big giant entity and I don't know, it's sort of like male gazy to be like, is this about Drake? It's like no. No. Maybe
yeah,
I
I
guess
mean,
it's
it's not even current though, like their relationship. Like I think it was like 2015 or 2016. It's like almost a decade ago. It's like so long ago. Like I can't even fathom being hung up on an ex for like a decade. I mean, I could fathom it, but it's like that's a lot of therapy. You know what I mean? Like if you're hung up on an ex for like a decade, like that's a problem.
yeah, I mean, I'm like For me, I don't even know what to
You've
say.
never been in that scenario.
No, I've never been in that scenario, and I'm also kind of like I don't even know what to do. Like in regards to like, is it about Drake? I'm just like, no.
Well, I think it's like if you can get back at an ex, it's like bonus, but I don't think that's like the motive.
yeah, it's business. I think it's the motive, right?
Yeah, it's a good investment and she's made it. Like
And
what
and speaking of which, she really wants to have a big part of the jersey designs, future jersey designs, and wants to
Mm,
collaborate with merch with the team. So
God, that's
that's
exciting.
exciting.
Um, yeah, really excited to see her being a part of the league. Okay, we should move on. We were gonna do you want to do the Unrivaled update first, or do you want to talk about NCAA possible draft prospects?
Let's do draft prospects first after this short break.
You're hilarious. Um, okay, so Freddie, you
Yes.
did a great job sending me an article with a WNBA mock draft.
Yes.
And we're not going to get in the nitty gritty of the predictions, but just talk about a few players that have stood out to us and we think may be drafted high. Paige Becker's aside, because we all know Paige and we all know
Yeah,
she's going number one,
that's
right?
right. Yes.
So Freddie, who did you want to feature today?
So yeah, this is from Michael Vopel from ESPN, and obviously, still about a month and a half to the draft. March Madness is on the way, so you can expect a big board like this to change. But coming into focus here, well, one quick note that I'm curious about is he is a top 12, but I'm kind of wondering. I would assume the rounds are going to be 13 picks now, right? Because there's 13 teams. So I'm wondering if like why that is. That's just a weird little nerdy aside. But so mine's a senior. I'm interested in Georgia Amore. So yeah, she's led Virginia Tech to the Final Four. Uh, she is one of the. I think there's still quite a bit of these COVID exception players who got to play 5 years with an extra year of eligibility.
Oh, true. Yeah.
She recently had a 43-point game and is averaging almost 20 points and an NCAA leading 7.5 assists. But also, I gotta say, a reason I'm interested in her is that she's 5'6". So,
Tiny.
yeah, there's some. Oh, it's escaping me. Who is the? Is it Evans who is on? Used to play for the Sky.
Yeah, Dana Evans.
Yeah, Dana Evans, right? Yeah, I don't know how tall. I can Google it, but I don't know how tall Dana Evans is. But 5'6" is small. So I'm really curious to
I
see,
want to say Becky Hammond was a shorty.
is she that short? No. But anyways, yeah, I'm curious to see how that affects someone's like,
Yeah, well,
having gone through the
1.68 meters. God, give it to me in feet,
meters. I
people.
know. I can't deal with that.
5'6". Yeah, Becky
For
Hammond's five
6, nice
six.
call. Nice call.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm curious to see, after we went through we were really into the draft last year and to see how people are perceived versus how
Guess how tall Don Staley is?
they play in the actual league is interesting to me. Don Staley is 4'11",
She's also 5'6".
5'6".
So
5'6".
there's precedence for it, right?
So
Like there's
yeah, and like
precedence.
those are some legends, but I imagine the league's also probably getting bigger, right?
Could be.
Like I would assume. But anyhow, yeah, so Georgia Moore.
I wanted to talk about two. Okay, in the US, I believe they say Notre Dame. Notre Dame. But isn't it Notre Dame? Like,
Notre Dame.
I find that really confusing. Yeah, I'm not even doing the French properly, but at
Notre
least
Dame.
I'm aware.
Yeah, my in-laws live in a place called or used to. They moved to Buffalo, but they lived in a place called Beaufort, South Carolina. and Canadians would say Beaufort. And actually,
Oh,
in
that's
North Carolina,
right.
there is a Beaufort, but it's Beaufort,
Oh,
and they say
wow.
Beaufort.
Well, all right. So Notre Dame
Notre
has
Dame.
quite the backcourt this year. And they're projected, at least right now, to go 2 and 3 in the draft, respectively. So we have Olivia Miles, who is a 5'10" point guard. She's a junior right now. She missed a season because of a knee injury. I think she missed 2023 season,
Mhm.
but she's back and she's averaging 16.5 points, 6.4 assists, and she's shooting 42% from behind the arc. So she's having a phenomenal season. They always do these comparables with draft prospects. Like they're like, oh, she's like Jewel Lloyd and she's like Kelsey Plum and stuff like that. But um anyways, oh my bad. They got this pick from LA as part of the 3-team trade
Yes, because
with
Seattle is
Jewel Lloyd
drafting
and
second
Kelsey Plum.
overall.
My bad. But they do those comparisons a lot, so I'm not wrong
Yes.
on that. Anyway, I hate that. We're not gonna do that. But Olivia Miles, WNBA ready as a junior, very exciting. The other one is from Notre Dame. How did I do there?
That was
Terrible.
good.
That was worse.
The Notre,
No,
you
no,
know?
I
It's like
can't do that sound that
it's
you
a
do with
mini R roll.
the yeah, I can't roll my R's. Maybe I can
Uh,
never learn French.
yeah, well, French is not a full R roll, but there's a lot of weird R sounds.
Well,
There's
also
some
there's
R.
Quebec French,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
like Southern American of the French in terms of
Southern
accents.
American of the
In terms of accent, not in terms of like culture. Is it not?
I don't even know. I just feel like that's such a funny way to describe it that I'm like, it's like, why
I'm
not?
pretty sure I'm not the first to say that. All right. Anyway,
No, that's good stuff.
Notre Dame. We have Sonia Citron. I can't speak French to save my life. Shooting guard, 6'1". She's a senior. She's
Shooting
averaging.
guard.
We're not doing it. She's averaging 13 points, 5.3 rebounds, and just shy of 3 assists. Um, she's also noted as a very strong defensive player. The number 2 pick is Seattle. The number 3 pick is Chicago Sky. Um, these two seem awesome. Like I feel like I'm gonna miss them as a backcourt together, but seeing them on Seattle and Chicago respectively, this is a type of player that I do think would be great paired with Angel Reese. Like she seems like she will help move the ball. She'll, you know, help facilitate some more of the scoring, which I feel like they need. Like this seems very on point for them.
Yeah, I think so. And you got to be excited to watch a team like that in March Madness because if your team is slated to have your like draft picks go 2 and 3, you better be in the final four. And those, I would imagine it might affect their draft stock if they don't have a very good showing.
Okay, hold on. I'm googling the pronunciation right now.
This is great.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
But they're doing it in an English accent. And they're referring to it as the cathedral in Paris.
Mind the gap. It's Notre Dame.
Oh my god. Just canceled internationally.
Yeah, I'm just, you know what? What's funny is like if you've been listening to this podcast for a long time, you're probably thinking, honestly, these are all better accents than the time Freddie tried to do an Australian accent and fell apart hard.
Can you do it now?
Oi, mate, look out for the Great Barrier Reef. Nah. So
I
it's
thought
just,
you were gonna say Notre Dame.
oh, Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Is it,
No, that's not
in
an
Australian? Yeah, like listen, I'm not an accent person and I'm just
Australian.
embarrassing myself.
incredible. Okay. Unrivaled update.
Unrivaled.
So, I believe they're going into a playoff season now. And is it that the championship is March 17th?
The
Do I
the
have that
playoffs
right?
start March, I'm looking at it right here. The playoffs start, March 16th. So this is semifinals.
Oh, and then but it says the league crowns its champion on March 17th. So it's just like a one-day tournament?
Yeah,
Wait,
oh,
where do
well,
you see March 16th?
so March 16th is the semifinals, Saturday, March 16th, and then March 17th is the finals.
Okay.
So 4 teams are gonna make the, semis, 4 of the 6, and then 2 teams will be in the final game. I'm also assuming it's 1 game
Right.
today.
So we thought it'd be interesting to look at some of the player stats from Unrivaled and talk about like who has surprised us in terms of how well they've done in this, and maybe who has disappointed us in terms of like, oh, we thought this player might have done better in a 3-on-3. Who do you think?
So McBride is my immediate, just absolutely massive, unrivaled season from her.
Yeah.
Um, I think Nafisa is like the standout player here, but who's surprised, right?
Yeah.
She's clearly one of the top 3 players in the world. But Kayla McBride, in 20 minutes, 22 and a half points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and yeah, it's just lighting it up. So it's the second highest score in the league. It's pretty impressive. Also, Dearica Hamby, 22 points, 7 rebound, or sorry, 22 points, 9.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and a steal. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we might be at a point where Dearica Hamby is just an underrated player. Like when you really look at her numbers, it's like she should be way more popular.
She's been balling out for some time.
Yeah. And maybe like too like with the Sparks this year, maybe she'll have like a breakout year. Who knows? We'll see.
Mhm.
Um Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about Skylar Diggins Smith. I feel like this is a bit of like, I mean, I don't want to call it a comeback, but you know what? I am going to call it a comeback because I think like as you know, she obviously did well with Seattle, but I think it took her a bit to like get back into like the flow of things after like being off with like maternity leave and stuff like that, which happens. But here, I mean, in 14 minutes, she's averaging 18 points. Oh, they've broken down. Yeah, 3 rebounds, just shy of 5 assists, 1.6 steals. I mean, this is incredible. That's an amazing stat line for Skylar. And I feel like she's had a lot of highlights during Unrivaled, and I'm just like really happy to see her like just balling out.
Yeah, she's killing it.
And maybe she'll have a better season with the Storm this coming year. Players that I thought might have done better. Okay, so here's the thing. Sabrina Ionescu has done well. I'm not going to say she hasn't done well, but when I watch Sabrina, I feel like, and maybe this is just like the team she's on, like the Phantom team, they're not doing as well in this first, debut season here. But I feel like maybe she needs to just maybe she is better with 5-on-5. Like maybe she just needs to like run off screens more.
Mhm.
Um
It's a
where
very
like
different game. That's
yeah, where like the 3-on-3 just like exposes you more. And I feel like whenever I watch the Liberty play, it's a lot of for her. I mean, it's very Steph Curry-esque, like running off of screens, catching and shooting. Am I wrong on that?
No, I think that's pretty fair. A player for me too is Jackie Young. I
Mm,
kind of thought would just erupt in this league, and
mhm.
fairly quiet here, like with 12 points and 2.5 assists a game, only 11 minutes. Like, I think also what's hard for me to read for Unrivaled is who is kind of playing big minutes and giving their all. One thing you said when we were kind of chatting about chatting before the actual episode started is it's a little bit surprising how long this season is. And
Yeah,
there's a significant amount of injuries and like it's going also, you made the point of like it's going into
March
kind of
Madness.
competing with March Madness a little bit and
I
like
thought it would
Selection
be
Sunday.
wrapped by now.
Yeah, so it's definitely, yeah, like I think that's a good, the players are getting like a lot of money from this. So
Hmm.
in that sense, it's like I don't like everyone is like taken care of, but it's
Yeah, I wonder, like, in
yeah.
future, I feel like they could start earlier in January. Don't
Yeah,
you think? Like, it started, like, later in January, and it's like, if you start, like, just, like, 2 weeks earlier, and then you end at, like, the beginning of March, it also gives everyone more, like, rest and recovery time going into the WNBA season too.
I'm really because clearly it's just like, a success. Like I'm really curious for the adjustments that are going to happen for next year because this is not a 1 year deal,
Of
right? Like it
course,
seems
yeah.
like it's a thing that's building. Maybe there's a future where the W season is builds and builds and builds and gets to like 50, 60 games, and then this becomes like untenable. But as long as the W is in the 40 game range, I think that this is gonna be
Well,
an
it's only
addition to
gonna
the
be
season.
more it's only gonna become more games.
It's only gonna become more games, but I think that's still gonna be incremental, right? So this is a way for players to get like more money and like especially as like the talent depth, you know, like especially like for instance, if the salaries go up in the W, there's gonna be players who want to top up or like the Nika Mules of the world, the Kate Martins are going to want to be in these leagues to get essentially $250,000, right?
Yeah, well, Nika Mule tore her ACL, but maybe next year she could be an Unrivaled, that's true.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm just
that is
saying
definitely
move it up 2 weeks. I'm not saying to change anything, just to be clear.
yeah. No, I hope you get aggregated and
Oh my god.
someone puts together.
No, but I just, like, I felt like you were, like, reacting to me saying, like, they should do things differently, and I'm not suggesting
No,
anything.
no, no. Just it's. I think we're both sort of surprised that the league is this long.
Yeah. But anyways, is it time?
It's
Freddie
time.
Fun time?
FFQ. Freddy's fun question. It's always fun and it's never a bust. Here we go.
Why would you force oh my god, alright. Just go ahead.
Freddy's fun question. So, Serena was a big surprise, and we touched on this a little bit, but who do you think would be another great surprise owner that you would like to see in the W?
My answers are too easy. They're too easy. They're too good. They're too easy.
Too good, too easy. Okay. Well,
Taylor Swift and Beyonce.
that is too good and that is too easy.
I know. But I'm sorry. It's just that's just the truth.
Okay, well, I'm trying to push myself here. I'm thinking like, who would be a huge surprise?
I'm actually trying to challenge myself here.
Yeah, I'm like really challenging
No, you
myself.
absolutely did not think of them
Dame Judy Dench.
because we were saying Notre Dame so much.
Yep, busted. Uh, yeah,
She's
I
quite
think.
old right now.
What's that?
I think she's quite old.
Yeah, she's pretty old, so I don't know, but yeah, I feel like societal
She's
impact.
90.
90. Oh my god. I
Yeah,
think
let's get Liza Minnelli in the league. Let's just think of the oldest
I
celebrities.
would like to see Megan Rapinoe
Mhm.
and Sue Bird join forces as and get a piece of a team. Like I would like to see some former W players. Like I
That
know
would be awesome.
Candace was part of a package that I think for one of the ownership packages. Maybe it was
That's right.
the
She was.
Texas team.
I don't recall.
But that would be really cool. I think that would be awesome. I'm trying to think of sort of like other iconic female athletes would be really awesome.
Like Simone Biles.
Simone Biles, oh my god, that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Simone Biles, but yes, but like on Serena's level, like there just like isn't anyone.
Simone
Like
Biles, I think, is getting there.
she's getting there, but
Like her career won't be as long as Serena's because that's just the
yes,
nature of gymnastics, but she is like the most accomplished person in that sport.
yeah,
So
and
when you think of it relative to that, then yeah.
I think that sort of thing, as far as like carrying weight and like it would be cool, obviously Taylor
Yeah.
or
No men in the league.
Beyonce.
What do
Yeah,
you
I
mean
mean,
or Beyonce? Are you a Beyonce hater?
no, I love Beyonce, but
You
I
just
like
said or I
Solange
said
more.
no men in the league and then you said or Beyonce.
I'm a
Explain
Solange
yourself.
fan. Okay, um,
I,
JK. I'm a
I mean,
I'm
I'd be happy if Solange Knowles was part of the
that would be
WNBA.
fucking awesome, actually.
I also love Solange Knowles.
The Knowles sisters, let's go.
Mhm, mhm.
But
House of Darion. That was the name of that clothing line. Well, imagine it's like a new team. It's like the Houston House of Darions.
Heidi in the closet. What do you think?
Oh my god. That's a drag queen from Drag
I know
Race. But imagine if Beyonce owned the Houston team, like if she revived
that would
Houston
be
Comets.
massive.
It'd be so massive. Make it happen, B.
That is like, yeah, if you're actually gonna rival Serena, it does have to be someone that big.
Hmm.
Case
And
closed.
Taylor Swift can do the Nashville team.
Oprah Winfrey, take over Chicago.
We do need Oprah to take over Chicago. All right, we should wrap it up there
Yeah.
before we just get into silly mode. Thank you everyone so much for listening and tuning in. Appreciate you so much. Remember to like and subscribe, leave a positive review and all that good stuff. Let us know what you think we can do to get Serena Williams on the show. Dream big,
Yeah.
everybody.
And Engelbert.
And Engelbert. Yeah, we got to get Kathy Engelbert here too. And we got to watch the Maya Moore doc.
We got a list.
We got a list. Thanks everyone. Take care.
Thanks everybody. Peace.
Bye.